You know, a lot of people think that saving energy is just too much work. Well, not so. Come here. I'll show you. See, all you have to do is keep your thermostat at a sensible, moderate setting. You know, you'll still be comfortable and you won't be wasting energy. And keep your doors and your windows closed, just so you don't lose heated or cooled air. And check for drafts, especially around doors and windows, both at home and at work. And if you find a leak, then get it fixed. And keep your vents and your radiators free from obstructions. Now there, what could be simpler? Saving energy is so easy, you can practically do it in your sleep.
Get away from it all this weekend. Your Morale, Welfare, and Recreation Center can provide the equipment. Life, be in it. This is AFN Television.
In 1941, Franklin Delano Roosevelt becomes the first U.S. president ever to be inaugurated for a third term. At the movies, Oscars are given to How Green Was My Valley, Best Picture, Joan Fontaine, Best Actress for her performance in Suspicion, and Gary Cooper, Best Actor for his portrayal of Sergeant York. Suddenly, on December the 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor Naval Base in Hawaii is bombed by the Japanese Naval and Air Forces. The attack throws America into an outrage. And in the days that follow, we go to war. In 1941, the USO is formed to provide recreational and welfare facilities for America's servicemen throughout the world. The beginning of a tradition.
Lights. They not only let you see, they let you be seen, whether you're in a military vehicle or your personal car. So a burnt-out headlight should be replaced right away. And if they need to be aligned, get it done. Keep your headlights clean, and always be courteous with your high beams. Front and rear turn signals should also be in good working order. The same goes for brake lights and tail lights. They let other drivers know what you're doing. It's a good idea to keep a flashlight in the glove compartment, just in case of an emergency. And dimming your instrument lights will help you see farther. Lights, they're an important safety factor. If you keep them maintained and use them properly, you'll lessen your chance of seeing these lights.
The class will continue in a moment.
My brother's friend Rick wanted to do something special for him for his birthday. He bought him some crack. Maybe it was bad stuff. Maybe they just couldn't handle it. That was 2 years ago. Today. Sometimes I think Rick was a lucky one. He died. Happy birthday, buddy.
We don't know the name of the donor, but he or she should know that this donation is about to save a life. When you give, you join the ranks of the quiet heroes. This is AFN Television Europe.
How it all began, no one can be certain. Some say they've always celebrated, but others say, not this way. Whatever the origins, the American game of football has spawned a ritual found nowhere else in the world. They call it high five. and one has to mash hands at the height of a mid-air leap in order to execute the maneuver properly. This is not a ritual for the timid, but participants seem to revel in it. And contrary to appearances, they are not actually trying to maim each other. In fact, they simply seem to be saying, congratulations.
Sometimes rain, or snow, or sand, or mud, or isolated outposts can slow the progress of the U.S. mail to you overseas. When it's mild and sunny where you are, it's hard to imagine what your mail might be up against halfway around the world. Most delays are simply beyond our control. Thanks for understanding.
Moment.
They unload and set up, while most of us are still asleep. If you don't get there early, the good ones will be gone. Though a few imported varieties pop up here and there, most are local flowers, grown entirely in the Bay Area. From a small group of open-air stalls, the San Francisco Flower Mart has grown to cover 5 acres. It's a market rich in varieties and a major source of flowers for the entire United States.
This is Superstation, AFN Television, Europe.
Short-term solutions just don't work. And there's no quick fix for financial problems either. Bankruptcy action follows you anywhere in the world for up to 7 years, and it can adversely affect your career. Ask your supervisor where to get financial counseling to help you develop positive, long-term solutions to your financial problems.
Campaigns will continue in a moment.
Bingo.
It's yours,
Mike.
Whose deal?
Mine. What's the game?
Draw. Pot's light.
How can you tell behind the smoke screen?
Right on.
They're real funny, you guys. You don't mind taking me to the cleaners, but you can't take a little smoke, huh?
A little? Good thing we're not playing in the woods, man, or Smokey the Bear would have your head.
Cute, cute. Now comes the anti-smoking lecture, right? Just because you guys quit.
It can be done, Larry. Besides, we don't want to lose 7 years of your charity card plan.
7 years?
That's how much your life could go up in smoke if you keep this up. And who knows what it's doing to our lungs.
All right, but let me taper off. I'm not ready to go cold turkey yet.
Take a cue from your friends and fold those cigarettes. The stakes are just too high.
This is Superstation, AFN Television, Europe.
Armstrong, Carpenter, Scott, Shepard, Gordon, Huron, Lovell, Bluford, Gregory, America's astronauts. Before they wore these, they wore this. Don't miss the adventure. Join the Boy Scouts of America.
Continue in a moment.
When you're on duty, does a little voice remind you, keep it secure, keep it secure? When you need to keep certain conversations secure? When you're on duty, do you hear an alarm go off? Whenever certain documents should be kept locked up? And when you're on duty, does a mysterious flashing light warn you when to keep certain people from getting into certain places? That was when you were on duty. But now that you're off duty, it's important that you continue to keep aware of a need for security.
Hey, did either of you hear the captain talking about...
Keep it secure. Good OPSEC. Keep it secure. To help assure the success of your mission, use common sense and heed those same warnings when you're off duty, too.
What were you going to say about the captain?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
A red rectangle atop a white line shows that the street is a dead end. Know your sign language. You're watching AFN Television Europe.
So, if you value your time, then you want to know the good shopping hours when your commissary's slow. Weekends and paydays are not so good. There are better times to shop if you can, you should. Best hours are posted in every store. Good times to shop when you might find more in product selection and things on the shelf. So shop the best hours and be good to yourself. Yeah, shop the best hours. Be good to yourself.
As a legal officer, one of my jobs is to help people work through financial problems that have become legal problems. Ignoring the situation won't make it go away. If you find yourself with a legal problem, you must understand your rights and establish an effective course of action right away. That's why we're here. If you have a financial problem that's become a legal problem, contact your legal office.
Oh, how many times do I have to...
Wherever in the world you're living, you're in the midst of a different and colorful culture. And the more you find out about the social and religious customs, the more rewarding and fun your tour will be. But the most important thing about expanding your horizons is that you'll be a better representative of the U.S. So get out and enjoy the sights. It'll be good for you and your country.
One of the easiest ways to save energy is to turn off unneeded lights. Take a look around. Are some on now you could do without? You're viewing AFN Television.
Lieutenant Colonel William Edwin Dias, driven to fight with a great capacity for courage. In 1942, he and his men held back Japanese troops in the Philippines, using only the bayonets and machine guns they had salvaged from P-40 planes. Later at Subic Bay, he and his men fitted a homemade bomb release to an old P-40 for an attack on Japanese ships. His release worked. He continued his attack, turning the rest of his ammunition on the transports and barges below. Intercepted Japanese messages would soon claim that 4 engine bombers and some 40 or 50 fighters had caused their extensive damage. His bravery would help him to survive the infamous death march on Bataan and to become a pillar of courage in a Japanese prison camp, where he finally helped a number of his comrades to escape. Today, Dias Air Force Base in Texas stands as a tribute to Lieutenant Colonel William Dias and to our American military heritage.
Oh, it may be more blessed to give than to receive, but knowing what to give can sometimes be a real problem. Some gifts just aren't right. Some just don't fit. Some may be too late. But one gift is sure to be a hit. A book from a Stars and Stripes bookstore. At Stars and Stripes bookstores, there are hundreds of books to choose from. Bestsellers, hardcovers and paperbacks, reference books, novels, how-to books, children's books, magazines. Stars and Stripes bookstores have them all, even maps and travel guides. Give a gift book from a Stars and Stripes bookstore, and you won't break anyone's heart.
And military communities throughout the world.
Okay. Where are you likely to be stationed if you become a member of the Special Forces?
The Special Forces soldiers are prepared to go anywhere, anytime, and do anything.
Now, if we have soldiers out there who are interested in becoming a member of the Special Forces, how can they get in touch with you?
They can contact us either through their re-up channels or by calling us collect at Fort Bragg. The area code is 919, and the number is 432-1818.
Okay. Captain James Clarahan of the Special Forces, thank you for joining us tonight in the Guest House.
Thank you.
The president hammered out the treaty that ended the Russo-Japanese War in 1905. One statesman called him the best herder of emperors since Napoleon. The emperors in question were Nicholas of Russia and Meiji of Japan, who were engaged in a struggle for dominance in the Far East. The president invited delegates from both nations to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, where he mediated a treaty that restored peace. In recognition of his work, he became the first American to win the Nobel Prize for Peace. The president was Theodore Roosevelt.
Stay up with us for the best in late-night television. We're AFN, your Kings and Winnipegs.
We all know the big break only comes once in your life, and tonight it's Charles's turn to be the teacher's aide. There's only one minor problem. He'll be teaching Jamie's class. Charles in Charge, next on AFN.
Tuesday on Family Ties.
Good boy.
He's been barking all day, Dad. He says the only way he'll stop is if you buy him a dog.
We've been through this 1,000,000 times. No dogs, no pets, period.
Family Ties, Tuesday at 8:05.
As your speed increases, especially on wet, icy roads, keep a safe distance between you and the vehicle ahead. Slow down and live. You're watching AFN Television, Europe.
You don't have to be an inventor to have ideas about how to do your job better. After all, who knows your job better than you? Once you have a proposal, send it to your suggestion program. What do you get back? The satisfaction that comes from making improvements? If your suggestion is accepted, that means recognition that your ideas do have merit. There may even be a cash award. Contact your suggestion program representative for more details.
American Indians have fished the waters of the Pacific Northwest for centuries. Their prowess was such that thousands used to come just to watch. Today, the tourists have gone. But the Indians still stand as their ancestors did, by the swift rivers where the salmon run, dropping their nets through the waters of time.
So, it's all over.
I knew it couldn't last.
Well, at least it was mutual. I'm glad we decided to quit smoking. Now we're in control and we're going to make it.
Sure. And you know why? Because we're doing it for ourselves and for each other.
When you need information or just a friendly face, stop by your nearest USO office. They are there to help you. You're watching AFN Television Europe. Gasthaus, tonight with your host, Air Force Sergeant Judy Boysha.
Carnival, Mardi Gras, that crazy season where costumes are seen everywhere. I've got mine, and Diana Fawcett's got hers. She's here from the Marketing and Support Division in USER. And you're here representing USARCY. What is USARCY?
USARCY is United States Army Recreation Service Support Center.
And what do the costumes have to do with that?
USARCY has over 12,000 costumes. In Aschaffenburg, in their warehouse, in their costume shop, that are available for any ID card holder in the U.S. Armed Forces to rent.
So I can rent one for Flushing or Halloween?
Right.
Now
or one of many other occasions you can also rent them for.
We got a lot of people with costumes here to show off some of the great costumes. Why don't we have our first model come in? Now this is a great costume, but besides Flushing, what would you use this for?
This could be used for a theme party or a unit party. This could also be used for a singing telegram, for a birthday party or a going away party.
I guess if you wanted to do something special when your sweetheart or your husband came in from the field, you could rent something like this?
Yeah, you could do that also.
Okay, thanks. Why don't we have our next costume person come in? Now this is rather elegant looking. A Southern gentleman?
This is a Southern gentleman. This is also your Riverboat Gambler. Another perfect costume for Flushing or a theme party. These costumes are also great to use in the clubs or any of the activities where they want to do a theme night, especially in our clubs for our activity managers to use with their staff.
With something like a casino night would be great for
Casino night would be perfect for this, right.
Okay, thanks. Why don't we have our next model come on in?
Now this model could also go along with the Riverboat Gambler. This is our Can-Can girl.
Now, besides doing something like that, what could a Can-Can girl be used for? Can you use that for a Western type of thing?
You could use it for a Western theme. This would also be a fun outfit to use for Flushing or Halloween.
What are some of the great kinds of theme, you were mentioning theme parties. What are some of the interesting themes you can throw for a party? We have an interesting one that comes to mind right away. Come on in. This would be great, I think, if you throw a theme 4th of July party.
Right.
Come as your favorite Revolutionary War soldier?
Right. They have a lot of the historical costumes. Now, these can also be used for command, change of command, or color guard. We've seen them used, too, and the units are very interested in using this type of costume for their theme parties also.
Now, I guess costumes like this are specifically popular, like Flag Days and...
Right, yeah.
What are your big seasons?
Well, obviously, the obvious one is Halloween and Flushing. And we'll show a couple costumes here in a minute that we'll talk about a couple other markets that we have, a couple other very popular times in the spring.
Okay. Why don't we have our next one? Now, this is a pretty elaborate costume. And this would be great. Flushing, they do a lot of things with hats.
Right.
And so this would be nice.
This would be a perfect Flushing costume.
Now, what else can you use something like this for? Again, a theme party?
A theme party. just about any kind of a party that you wanted to have. There are costume parties given all year round. I understand the units are having costume parties all the time. Hail and farewell parties is something we talked about, too, that would be fun, is to have a theme hail and farewell party where you come in costume.
Now, how do you get the costumes? Do you have to go to Aschaffenburg?
You can go to Aschaffenburg to the entertainment division, or you can rent them through your local entertainment division, the entertainment branch at the local community level. They can also get these costumes for you.
Now, this is really beautiful.